can't think of two nicer desserts to celebrate Eid with than Gulab Jamun and Almond Burfee. First of all, going to start with the Gulab Jamun. We've got 3 cups of water in here, and in goes 3 cups of sugar. Stir the sugar to dissolve it, and flavor this with some rose water or rose essence and generous pinch of saffron also going in. Now these Gulab Jamuns are quite different to the ones we see in South Africa. They are the round variety made out of milk powder. So always stir the sugar through, make sure it's dissolved so it doesn't crystallize. Let's pop this on the stove. And on a gentle heat, bring it up to the boil. We're going to leave that for about 5 to 10 minutes. You want a sticky syrup, but not a thick one. Let's move on to the dough. 450 grams of Nespray going into the bowl. Next, flour, self-raising flour. Cardamom, 5 mils. Baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons. Use a whisk just to incorporate those ingredients. No need to sift them. Now, 150 mils of milk, butter going into that, and we're going to walk this through in the microwave. So, the milk needs to be really hot to bring this milk powder, flour, and ingredients together. Milk's ready. So now we're going to mix this in little bits. So pour a bit of the milk and butter mix onto the side of the bowl, and then gently work in the milk powder. If you mix all up at one go, you're going to end up with a pretty hard dough, and it's going to be impossible to mold them into balls. So you want it to be quite sticky. You can see, as you can see, it is still quite sticky. I'm going to use a little butter from my bowl. It's just stuck onto the bowl. Grease your palms, and then mold this into a ball. So you're going to have to press it together, the crumbs together, and then roll it into a ball. You can add a little more hot milk if you're finding it quite hard to work with. These need to be fried in warm oil, not hot oil. They do take longer to fry than the normal Gulab Jamuns, so take care not to burn them, otherwise they're going to be brown on the outside and uncooked on the inside. Let's start popping these into the oil. So cool oil, you can turn it up. Got a few bubbles coming up there, which looks just about right. The slower you cook them, the better it's going to be. Be very, very careful when you're working with sugar syrup, and try not to work around sugar syrup when you have your kids around. It leaves nasty burns. This has come up to the boil. It's a light yellow, infused with saffron, and we're looking for a syrup that's slightly sticky. And that's about right. That's the last Gulab Jamun going into my spoon, slotted spoon, and steep them into that lovely hot saffron and rose syrup. I would leave them in the syrup until you're ready to serve. If they do cool down, you can just reheat them in the microwave for about 10 seconds and serve them with a blob of lovely vanilla ice cream. Pop these into a bowl with the hot syrup. You can also garnish them with rose petals, and that's ready to be served. Eid wouldn't be a celebration without a large chunk of homemade burfee. Here's my version. First, 500 ml of milk powder going into a mixing bowl. and then a small tin of dessert cream, a spoon of cardamom, and use your fingertips to work that in. Rub the dessert cream into the milk powder until it resembles breadcrumbs. Just keep going, use your fingertips to work the milk powder bubbles up. In Johannesburg, we just have to leave this to dry for about 10 minutes. In Durban, I would say about half an hour to 45 minutes. Now, cream goes into a pot, 350 ml of cream, a tin of condensed milk. Scrape every last bit out. Next, butter and 125 ml of sugar. Let's pop this on the stove. The mixture should thicken and resemble a lovely rich custard when it's ready. The mixture's ready. Now, back to the milk powder. Place the milk powder and the dessert cream into a food processor, little batches at a time. In the old days, we used to make this by sieving the clim, and your fingers used to get quite raw. Just make sure the crumbs are now quite fine. Should resemble ground almonds. Now pop the mixture back into the bowl. Add the hot mixture to it. And work it through with a rubber spatula. Love the creamy consistency of a good burfee. The fresh cream burfee is a lot softer than the one made with sugar syrup. Icing sugar goes in, ground almonds. Just almost fold it into the mixture. The heat in the cream will actually melt that icing sugar. Now, I'm using a silicone mold that I've greased with Spray and Cook or any other non-stick spray. And take generous scoops of the burfee mixture. It does get quite messy, but you can clean it up quite easily. It does get quite messy now, but you don't have to slice up the burfee when it's cool. And you also get even squares. Now just fill these up and pop them into a refrigerator. Here's some burfee I made earlier. Now we're just going to unmold these, topple them over, and just push them out. Saves all the messy cutting up. And I made rectangular and square ones earlier. These are actually rounds and were cylinders. Now for the decoration, some gold leaf. Just touch the top of each of these little burfees with a little touch of that gold leaf. And they are terribly sticky. Now you can find these at most good baking stores, or like I used to do it before, buy it in India. Now for the almonds, pop some toasted almonds. These are tinted and roasted off in the oven into a jar. Some glitter going into the jar. And this is how I prevent getting glitter on absolutely everything. Shake it about. And then place them on the top of the gold leaf. Press down gently. Now if you're using gold leaf and edible glitter, make sure you garnish just before serving, because it can oxidize sometimes and leave a nasty green tinge on your desserts. And there you have it, the almond burfee.
AMC Cookware is giving away this set of pots valued at 4,750 Rand. Entry details on screen. Kenwood is giving away this fabulous K-Mix kitchen machine. Entry details on screen. Coca-Cola is giving away a fantastic hamper, which includes a collection of beautiful Coke branded items for your kitchen. Entry details on screen.